Hi there, it's Emma from Emma's Cards and Paper Crafts. Today I'm going to show you a quick little one sheet wonder. So this is made from 6x6 piece of design series paper. Originally this was a 12x12, but I've cut it down to make 6x6 pieces. So we're going to take one of our 6x6 pieces and our trimmer and just have a play around at the different combinations of how we can cut our paper. One idea that I've had was to cut down at the could either do 3-inch mark or 4. Maybe we'll do 3.5 just to change it up a little bit. So we're going to do it 3.5 there, so we're going to keep this piece off to one side. And then we're going to cut this into 1.25. Hang on. Cut it 3.5, didn't we? So we want it 3.5 by 3.5 to create a square. Now we'll cut them at 1-inch intervals, because if we stagger them when we cut them and stick them on our page, they will have a slight gap in between anyway, so it'll almost make it a square anyway. So what we're cutting now will be the feature for one card. So it'll be 3 strips. It's kind of like a triptych kind of card. So that's going to be one card. Just going to pop those pieces off to one side. We've now got a piece that is 3.5 by 3. Let's have a think about this one. I could cut this one diagonal to create 2 triangles and use these for 2 different cards, or you could use them for the same card and pop them in opposite corners. So we'll pop those off to one side and decide whether they're going to be 2 separate cards or a single card with a gap in the middle like so, and maybe our greeting in the middle. Haven't decided yet. And then we've got this strip here. We can cut, so how wide is this? This is 2.5. So if we do a 2.5 by 2.5 square, so that'll be another card. And then this is 2.5 by 3.5. Cut this at 1.25. Yeah, cut it at 1.25 and have that as 2 panels similar to the triptych one, or we could use those on 2 different cards. Probably use it on just the one. So that's pieces for, so possibly 1 card. You could have used those for 2 cards. This is going to be 1 card, this is going to be 1 card, and this could either be 1 or 2. So you could split this to make either 4 or 6 cards. I will draw a little sketch of the way I've cut my paper so that you can see how it's been cut and recreate this one if you'd like to. I have got some pre-cut card bases, so I've got 2 in the Summer Splash, 1 in the Pretty in Pink, and 1 in Petunia Pop. So we're going to keep this to 4 cards today, I think. I haven't done much in the way of preparation for this, but we're just going to wing it as we go and see where the mood takes us. So we'll start off with these 2 here, I think, and I think I'm going to make this one a landscape card, like so. And then let's pull out some of my dies that I've got. So we've got the Unbounded Love dies. I've just got a couple here that I haven't put away yet, so I can cut out a couple of these to make templates for what I want. So I can use this one here, I think, for this card. So it'll be back to front on it, so the leaves would be either this side or this side, so we could have the leaves at the top here, I think. Quite like that one, so I'm going to go with that one for this card. And then we've also got some extra leaf pieces. These are brand new dies, so they are super stuck to the card. And then, oh, pop that one back on, that just fell off again. So I think that's what we'll do for this card. Try to balance things in places because I have too much on my desk. So that cuts out an outline. Just having a think. I'm going to cut these out, I think, with the In Colour Shimmer. Is it In Colour Glimmer specialty paper? So we are going to get the coordinating summer splash. I'm going to cut a small strip off of this. So I'm just going to squish it on here carefully. I'm going to cut off a 2-inch strip because I'm sure that'll be more than enough for what we're using today. Because I'm sure I use this for more than one card today. And I can pop that bit back out of the way. And then let's find little blue. Little blue hasn't been out for a while, so it's been packed away on my shelf, so it might be a little bit dusty. So I've got those there, and the dies here. So let's lay these on. So I'm not going to be using this bit in the middle, but I might keep it for another project. Let's see if I can fit all of these on nicely and just do one pass, but not put them too close together. If you put them too close together, sometimes they don't cut properly. There we go. So I've got my machine around the wrong way. So I'm doing things left-handed today. And we've already got ourselves in a bit of a pickle. Let's pop these out the way. Pop all these pieces out. So here we go. There we go. Carefully poke out these pieces because it can be a little bit fiddly. So that's our border for that one. Let's have a measure of this bit because I want to put some white card behind this window that we can stamp on. So I'm just going to put this up against my cutter. So it's 3.2 centimeters by 6.3. So 3.2 by 6.3. 3.2 by 6.3. Let's find a scrap of white. I know I did have some here. It's all disappeared on me. Oh, another packet's falling over on me. Right. This on my lap a minute. Here we go, there's some scraps of white. Let's move a little blue out a sec. So 3.2 by 6.3 we said, didn't we? 3.2 by 6.3. Might have to trim this down a little bit afterwards. Let's just measure that behind here. Oh, there goes the trimmer. Yep, so we need to take a smidgen off that side. Let's pop all of these bits out quickly, because there we go. I want to be able to see the leafy pattern. It's probably easier to poke them through this side because you can see where the lines are better. So this may be a slightly longer video, as I've not really done any prep for it. I thought I'd just do it on the fly, as I've got a day off work and the kids are all at school. So thought I'd have a play with some of my craft stuff. Pieces are slowly coming out. This glimmer speciality paper is quite a lot thicker than your normal paper. It's more like not quite cardstock thickness, but getting on that way. So it does take quite a bit to cut through it with a die. Sometimes it doesn't always cut the first time. Sometimes I have to roll it through a couple of times to make sure it's perfect. And then we've just got one more bit in this leaf here. There we go. So here's my white piece. Do you know what I'm going to do actually? I'm going to roll it through Little Blue with this on there. Then it should perfectly cut out that centre, which I can then pop straight in there. And that should work perfectly for me. So now I don't want the trimmer. I'm losing the plot here now. We want poke it all the way. Plates to the side. Carefully pop that down there. So grab a tiny bit of washi tape just to hold it down in place. Don't want it going anywhere. So there we go. And then run that through. And then, hey presto, this piece here will be a perfect fit to go in here, like so. So then you can put your sentiment is the word I was looking for. It's been a long day already. Put your sentiment in there. Just pop out all of this excess paper out the die that I don't need, or cardstock out the die that I don't need. And then do like to try and clean them out before I put them away. So that's that part sorted, and there's a bit of something stuck in the roller there. Right, so let's get back to this one then. Might even pop those on a bit of white layer. So let's measure these again and give ourselves so these are 1 1/4 inches by 3 1/2 inches. So we want a gap in between. So 1 1/4 and 1 1/4 is 2 1/2. So we're going to cut this 2 3/4 thick. that's 2.5, so 2 3/4 there, that's it. And it was 3.5 the other way, so we want to do that 3 3/4 this way. I think I've measured that correctly. I think. Now I'm second guessing it. Yep, smidgen gap in the middle and tiny edges. So that's going to be our panel. So let's get those stuck down. I've got all of these blooming die cut bits in my way now, haven't I? Let's move those 2 dies out my way so I don't lose those. Get rid of all these itty bitty bits. Pop those in the bin. Like little bin confetti. The amount of times my kids knock my bin over in my room that's next to my desk, and we end up with confetti all over the floor from little die cut bits. So stick those on here like so. The good thing I like about Tombow is if you stick them both down quickly, you've got wiggle room, so you can adjust them if you've put them too far one side or not far enough one side. So there we go. Give that panel just a minute to completely dry, and then we can pop that on here like so. Now I've got to figure out a way of keeping these together. Didn't think about that when I cut it. So I've got, instead of using dimensionals, we just keep everything flat like so. Like that, and then I've also got the other 2 leaves that I die cut as well. Carefully pop those out of the glimmer paper. This one's playing a little bit harder to get as well. And then 2. There we go. And pop all of the bin confetti out of these ones. I'll do it from the back because I found it easier that way last time. But got to be gentle with the leaves and the little hangy offy pieces, because I don't want to tear off leaves from the sides. Come on. This one was being a bit of a pain. And that's why sometimes I roll them through a couple of times just to make sure it's cut properly. That last little bit, let's find a pair of tweezers, see if I can pull that last little bit off. Okay, good enough. Where's my colour gone for my tweezers? I want to put it down then, didn't I? And then dumped it. Oh well, I'll pop the tweezers there. I'm sure it'll turn up in a minute. It's probably somewhere right in front of me. I just can't see it. Oh, there it is. There we go, pop that back on. We've got that one, that one. These ones are just as tough. Okay. So, I was thinking maybe we can tuck these under the edges. Like so, maybe. And then we just need to pick a sentiment to go in the middle here, which I'm actually really short of happy birthday cards at the moment. So let's see if happy birthday fits. Just about. So there we go. Let's find a stamp block. Blocks are hard to come by in this house. Even though I only just bought a whole new set of blocks, the children have run off with that case and borrowed them for their stamping at the moment. So I'll take out the white centre, pop all of that out the way a minute, and then let's make sure we get this up the right way. So it goes up that way. Happy birthday just about squidges on there. I think we'll stamp in Summer Splash as well. This is actually only my second play with the new ink colours. I am quite liking the ink colours so far. But I will say my brand new ink pads are ever so slightly juicy. Like that, it's gone a little bit blotchy, but you know what, it's fine. I have the what are they called, stamp and write markers as well, so I can go over the bits where it's missing a tiny bit of ink just to make it look a tiny bit better. They have got a fine tip end. So let's start assembling this card now, and then see where we go from there. So we're going to stick it all down flat, I think, so that it makes it easier to adhere these pieces. Otherwise, I haven't really got a plan for how to keep those together. So if we just go with flat cards, it just makes things a whole lot easier. So there we go. I'm going to pop that on the left hand side. Try and keep a equal distance around the edges, I think. There we go. So this is going to be the tricky bit. I'm going to have to just put teeny tiny dobs of blue all the way around in just the bigger places. Just a game of try not to squeeze out too much glue. So I'm going to go in each corner of the frame just a little bit, and then grab my pokey tool again. I'm just going to use it to spread out the glue. I found this works quite well, like so. And I need to get a new baby wipe to wipe off my glue on, and then pop this down like so. Try and keep that reasonably straight. So a little bit super gluey there, so I'm just going to use my finger to take most of that glue off so it's barely noticeable now. Pop a bit of glue on the back of this and then quickly get that in before everything sets hard, just in case I haven't quite got my frame straight. perfectly in the frame, like so. Give that a good squidge down. There we go, like so. And then these ones. So with gluing these down, alternatively you could use the double-sided sticker sheets. I can't think of the proper name for them, but they're like sheets of double-sided sticky stuff. I will add the link for those, or the product name and number for those, so you can understand what I'm talking about a bit better. But it's basically a larger sheet of double-sided sticky tape. You pop it on and then you roll it through your machine and it comes out like a sticker. So that's the much easier way of doing this, which quite often when I'm cutting out dies that are like intricate like these, I usually do that, or even just use a bit of double-sided sticky tape on the back of them. Works just as well. There we go. I'm just going to spread that glue out again. Hold it from an edge where I've not put any glue. And then give it a good spread around. So, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but we are getting quite a lot of the colour come off as well. So do bear that in mind. If you get the glitter wet, it may spread out on your page, just like dye your page a bit. So I'm going to put that on like that, and then this little one, I think, from this corner, and then we will get on to card number 2. Depending on how long this video is, I might actually split this into a 2-part. Do 2 cards today and 2 cards another day, because otherwise sometimes it gets a bit boring, or some people get a little bit bored when the video is too long. So there we go, that's the ink spread out on that one. I'm going to pop that right about here. I've got to say, I am loving this glimmer paper. So there's that one. So I'll go over this with the stamp and write marker off camera, and then show you the finished results at the end. Next up, I think we might do let's do Petunia Pop this time, because I quite like it. I picked these colours because they show off the colours of the paper quite well. So we've got the Petunia Pop, the Pretty in Pink, and the Summer Splash there. But actually, this panel I think would go better if we use this one in a portrait rather than landscape. And again, I might actually quite prefer at the top actually. I could do like so, and then pick a different die. So choose this one here, or the smaller one in the middle. I might use this smaller one here, and I might use these flower accents with the glimmer paper again, just to come out from underneath the label. So I'm going to go with, or should we actually, because I want a slightly bigger one actually for the happy birthday. Make this a batch of happy birthday cards. Maybe we use this one, because I do like the does fit in the middle somewhat. So yeah, we'll just move these more to the edge of the card so we've got room for that inside, and then I'm going to pop out this flower die and this flower die, and cut some flowers out of this glimmer paper again. So where did I put my other die? So the other die is just here. Let's pop that back on there before I lose it, because I'm quite good at losing dies. Pop the stamp out the way for a second. card back here. Let's find little blue again. And my plates are hidden. So I'm just going to rip off this end bit because I'm not going to get much out of that. So that can go straight in the bin. And then pop that one there. That one there. I say that like I think you can see all of this, but sometimes I know I am off camera because my desk is quite narrow. But as I've put 2 in there, I'm going to roll it a couple of times. Maybe 3, because 3 is the magic number. Just to make sure that the flowers are cut out properly. There we go. And peel those off. And then we can cut our sentiment. Is that piece there big enough? Just about. That was perfect then. So pop that on there like so. Stick a little bit of washi tape on there. So I use washi tape, but I use it several times because when you first start on it, it's quite sticky. I tend to rub my finger over it a few times first. Just to remove most of the stickiness, because otherwise sometimes when you roll it through the machine it pulls off your paper like it was starting to then. So that's why new is not always best. Dye up the top so I don't lose it. That's all of the dye cut in for this one, so little blue can go out the way again on the floor. And that's when we've got to double check that the happy birthday is going to fit on there. Let's get the summer splash back out again. Actually no, let's use Petunia Pop for this one as it's Petunia Pop card. That means I need to get a baby wipe to clean off my stamp. Let's also clean off my pokey tool while I'm at it, get rid of the glue before it starts drying too much on it, otherwise it will never come off. There we go, nice clean pokey tool. And if anybody likes my pokey tool, this was made by a friend of mine, Pat, on one of the Pootler's retreats we went on. It was a lovely little gift that I use quite a lot. Petunia Pop is what I was at. So there we go. And then there we go. Put the inks back out the way so I don't go and get myself all messy. And as I've got a baby wipe here, let's wipe this one off straight away. So unfortunately, stamps that have got red based ink, so like your pinks and your purples, will always stain your stamps. There's no getting away from that. So that is normal and don't worry about it. So now we need to get out our flowery pieces. Could have done these from the Petunia Pop as well, but got a strip of summer splash going on, so we'll use that today. Perhaps we'll use some of this shiny Petunia Pop for the other 2 cards, or maybe even the Pretty in Pink. I've just got the poke all of the extra little bits out of these. One more I knew there would be. There's 1. 2. So even though those two dies look exactly the same, where did I put them? Put them somewhere now. Put them to the side so I didn't lose them. Anyway, so even though those two dies look exactly the same, they actually are the opposite way. So the flowers are actually facing the opposite ways. But it's good to have two, even if they're the same or opposite angles, because it's so much quicker to die cut more than one of these fiddly dies at once. I do find that a lot of Stampin' Up sets, if there's teeny tiny fiddly dies or fiddly shapes, they'll quite often put more than one of them in the die set, so you don't have to cut the same teeny tiny thing more than once. You can put a couple in at once. Double check the back. Yep, got all of those out. Got all of those out. So now we've got to decide on sticking everything down. So I'm thinking if we put these up in each corner, we can have the happy birthday in the middle with the sprigs coming out either side. Oh, I didn't quite get all of these ones out. This little one. Missed one completely. There we go. So now I'm dropping them. We could have them coming up opposite corners, so bottom and the top. Or instead of going off at an angle, we could still do it straight, even if it overlaps slightly. I think I quite like it overlapping, and then maybe have the sprigs in the centre like so, like that. Like that, then have our sentiment straight. Yep, that's what we're going to go with. Decided. Plan made. So come on, glue. I was going to say, should be working. You're a brand new one. So I'm going to pop this right up in the corner. And this one. Down in this corner. There we go. Now let's get hold of these slippery little fellas. Carefully just put like 2 or 3 dots on and then spread it out. I think that was more than a little dot. Need to make sure I've got these. Yep, and then put the little one. I think most of this video is me going to be sat in silence concentrating. So we're going going to put that there. So this one needs to come in kind of here. And then I'm going to do the opposites this side. I think big one at the top, little one at the bottom. Like that. Don't know actually. Or am I going to just completely change this up altogether and put them all from one corner? Yeah, changing my mind again. Quite like them all coming from one corner. I think I might put the happy birthday up on this one on dimensionals, just to give it a little bit more dimension to the project. So if I move that out of the way, that one can go in there like so. And then spread my glue out again. Or it's a new one, it keeps coming out rather quickly. Don't want that one to look too big and too long. So we're going to hide it a little bit. There we go, like that. And then pop this up on dimensionals, which are right next to me. Like so. There we go. And there we go, that's card number 2. So card number 1 and 2 today, and then we shall carry on in another video, I think, to finish this project off. So I'll see you in a couple of days when we are done with the other 2, or when we do the other 2. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.